Hello and what's up everyone? Today I'm going to give you a revision about Adobe Premiere Pro. We're going to learn how to create a full video, applying the musical background, working with the keyframe, and so on. Please stay tuned until the end of this tutorial, and if you have any questions, please do leave a comment or ask me at any time. Let's start. You will be given a document asking you to create a video using Adobe Premiere Pro. In our scenario, we're going to use a Greyhound dog racing video. And it says in the first line, please create a 3-minute video using Adobe Premiere Pro. So we need to make sure the length of the video is 3 minutes. Now, I'm going to follow those steps step by step until the final production of my video. Starting with points number 1, ask me to create a new video and upload all the materials that are provided within the given folder. So all I have to do is creating a new project to start with. To create a new project, all you have to click is Control N or Command N for Mac users and then create a new project. Or you can use File and then New, and in this case you create a new project. In my scenario here, I've already created a new project. So again, I don't have to create a new one. So instead of renaming my folder within my name, at this case, I'm going to copy the title. In our scenario, you can ask us here to add your name by the end of the video. And also I'm going to save it in a specific criteria. I'll be asked to save it within the practical exam. In my scenario, I'm just going to copy the Greyhound dog racing. And I'm just going to paste it towards my project name. Now all I have to do is click and create to start my project. Now as you see here, I'm presented with 4 panels along with the tool panel and the sound panel. Now if yours looks a little bit different than mine, all you have to do is just go into Window and then Workspace and hit Editing. Now if it's still remaining not the same as mine, all you have to do is just hit Window again, Workspace, and then Reset Saved Layout, just in case. Now in the first step here, it asks me to create a new video and upload all the materials. So all I have to do is go into the importing panel or the dock panel, and I'm just gonna double click. It will take me where all my materials are saved. Mine is saved in the desktop, Greyhounds, and I'm just gonna hit Import. Now I'll be presented with one big folder with 4 items inside it. Once I click on it, you'll be presented with another 3 folders along with the channel logo. Now in here it says use a text tool at the start of the video, and then we're going to write those 2 codes or those 2 sentences. So let's copy the first sentence. Instead of writing the sentence myself, I'm just going to copy and paste it. So first of all, before I create any video, I need to make sure I'm adding any of the B-roll. Otherwise, I'm not going to create a text. So I'm just going to pick any of those B-roll at the beginning. Here we go. I'm having the B-roll now. Now I can push this a little bit backwards and I can delete it. And the reason I'm doing this, because I'm creating a timeline with those aspect ratio or the size of my video. Now I'm having a timeline that is fully empty. I might use the text, go and write on the monitor screen or monitor source. And in this case, I'm going to copy and paste those texts. Again, remember one thing, Control C and Control V to copy and paste, or Command C and Command V to copy and paste using the Mac. Just gonna minimize the size of it a little bit, double click again on it, and then I'm gonna hit Enter into a new line, and then I'm just using the my right at the bottom. Now it might ask me for a different layout. It might ask me here, as you see, the aligning right in the middle align. So I'm going to use a different tab rather than just editing tab. But at this point, it might ask you for a text attributes or settings where you have a specific font face, or it could be a specific, if it's bold, italic, and so on, underlined. It might ask you for different colors. And we're going to find this in the step number 9. Now, after I've added my text here, it's clearly saying here, or clearly showing here, this is aligned right in the middle between those two texts. So all I have to do is just go into Window, Workspace, and then I'm going to Graphics tab. Now in here, all I have to do, I'm selecting my Editing tab right in the top, and just in the middle here, I'm just going to align it right in the middle using the Selection tool or the Move tool, just to align it right in the middle. Now I can get back again to my Window, Workspace, Editing, and as you see here, I'm having this is right, added perfectly right in the middle. Now, it did not give me any specific time to add my text. It didn't say, for example, text should be laid within 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So at this case, I'll try to do my best to get the video within 3 minutes as it asked me to do so. But I'll try to get the text to be read by the audience. So as you see here, I'm having the text, the first text right in front of me. I'm going to add the second text. Now, make sure when you're having the videos and the audios, I'm having 3 videos at the moment and 3 audios. So make sure the text all the time are laid in the top row or the top layer of the video. Great. I'm going to add the second text, as simple as this. All I have to do is just getting right the end of the clip and then adding another text where I'm going to copy the second sentences. Great. Now I could go again to Window, Workspace, Graphics, and then align them right in the middle. Using the moving tool, and just move this right in the middle. Now, as you see here, the text could be a little bit different. It's fine. So I don't have a specific size at this case, so I just kept it the same. Great. So now I'm having here 2 different text. I might add a little bit spaces between them in this case. So it looked like a first title and then a second title. Make sure getting this right in the middle. Great. So I'm having the first point now. This is done. I'm going to the third point over here. Applying the channel logo on the top right corner. This is very important. You need to make sure this is the top right corner for the entire video. So in here I'm having, if I need to get backward again to the folders, just might hit this folder over here to get backwards to the previous folder. And all I have to do now, I'm adding the logo. So the logo would be placed again with the text in the top row. So I'm just going to add this to the top row. And again, I might resize or the scale the logo itself by double clicking on the logo, scale it a little bit down, and just drag it all the way to the top right corner. Now, as long as I'm moving my videos, my logo is supposed to remain the same. Remember, we need to get back to this step by the end of the video. Now, in here, add 3 to 5 videos about the docs, interviewees, and in this case, mixing them into one timeline. So in here, I might go to the B-roll, where it has all the different ducks playing with the balls, for example, getting them to be ready to kind of rescue them within homes. So I'm just going to add some of those materials. Now, remember one thing. If it asks you to mix between the dogs and interviewees or the objects and the interviewees, in this case, make sure you take in the video only, not the audio. So before I do this, I'm taking the video over here, and then I'm using the ripple delete at this case, or ripple edit, to edit my video. Great. So I'm having here, my dogs are playing around. Great. Let me just get this to be a little bit longer in length. And I'm having here again my footage. Great. Now I might again get backward again to get some of those interviews who are having some subject about the greyhound itself. So I'm just going to click, for example, in one of those. So now I can hear her speaking. So in this case, I will drag either the audio or the audio and video. So let's find out how we're going to do this. So I will do it in two ways, either dragging the video itself toward my timeline and dragging the audio by itself to my timeline. And remember, those are interviewees, so they're supposed to be right in the third row. So I'm having video 1, the interviewees, video 2 are the videos, video 3, I'm having the logo and the text. Now I'm having here speaking about the dog itself and how those dogs are quite useful, but as you see here, the video is quite massive. It's actually bigger than my screen. So all I have to do again is double click on the video, make sure I'm moving it a little bit to the side, minimize or scale it down, and then drag it to cover my full frame. Here we go. So that should be right. Now to cut a video and audio, make sure you're cutting both of them at the same time, and we're using the razor for that. So I'm just getting to this point here, which it's talking about the dogs. I'm gonna cut this part of the video because I need the dogs to be replacing this video. So again, I'm using the razor, cutting this part off the video itself. Now I'm having two different sequences. So I'm gonna delete this footage, backspace on your keyboard, and just drag it down to fit my dogs. So at this case here, as you see, I'm having the audio, but the video of the interviewee. Now at some point here, when I need to cut the audio, she's saying dogs are getting quite useful or they're getting quite adapted to the home. I might cut at some point this bit here. Here we go. So I'm just gonna use the razor, cut the video, cut the audio, and then removing them using the selection tool. Now up to here, I'm having 15 seconds. I'll do this sequence for the rest of the video. I'm just gonna get this to be a little bit fast forward, and then we're gonna get back again to the next point. Great. After I've done with the video itself, as you see here, it says 4 minutes instead of 3 minutes. Now, how do I get the 3 minutes length of the video? Now, before I do the 3 minutes length, let me just cover the next few points. And then after this, I'm gonna cover the length of the video itself to match the 3 minutes video as asked me to do so. Now, to start with, tell me here again, add 3 to 5 videos. I've added more than 3 and 5 videos in case. Now it's up to you. If it says 3 to 5 minute videos, that means 3 minimum, 5 is the average. You can add more if you wish to. Now ask me here to use a fade in and out transitions between all the videos. To do so, simply all I need to do, go into my timeline, hit the plus on my keyboard, so I'm having the plus over here, and then just maximizing a little bit my video, and I'm going to add the transitions in and out. So simply all I need to do, let me just hit plus again on my keyboard, going between the different videos. And now you need to go on control. And you need to get this plus sign. Now, if you don't see the opacity or the keyframe line on your timeline, all you need to do at once you start launching the Premiere Pro, you need to go to the Range key and then make sure you click or add show video keyframes. Now, simply what I'll do is going at the beginning of each video and the end of each video, and then just adding the keyframe. Now you might try it and see how that look like. Great. So I'm having here the keyframe. I'm doing the same for the next. Good. And so on for the next. So I just might hit minus on my keyboard to see the difference between the different videos. Remember, video 3, we're not going to control anything within video 3, but video 1 we might do. So video 3, this is just a text. Actually, this is a B-roll. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to maximize it and make sure I'm adding this to my second timeline. Because again, this is not a text. So this is supposed to be only for the logo and the text. So I'm adding another keyframe here. Just gonna fast forward a little bit all the keyframes. I'll do this to the rest of the videos. Great. Once I'm done with all my videos, now I apply transitions between all the different videos in my timeline. Now apply caption on any video of your choice. So in this case, it doesn't matter what the length of the video is. So let's say, for example, I'm adding a caption to this part here or this video over here. So all I have to do is going to my window, workspace, then graphics. Now, you might find some captions over here. I'm not using this caption actually, I'm using my own caption. So it's simple how I'm going to do this. I'm going to add a text normally. So I'm going to the beginning of the video, adding my text over here, my panel, and then click and drag. Why I'm doing this? So the text would not exceed this part over here. Now I'm going through my text itself. I'm just getting the text to be a little smaller. So I'm just going to write anything at the moment. So I'm going to write here Barbara, because this is her name. And I'll make sure I'll highlight the text, minimize the size of the text a little bit. Using the proper text from me, I'm quite happy with this text at the moment. I'm just going to try to get this as average size, not very small, not very large. Make sure this is aligned to the left. I don't need none of those. I might use the fill as a white, and I might use something like a black, which is the outlines, or the other way around. For me, I'm just going to use the fill as a black, in this case, and I'm going to use this stroke as white. Great. So now that that's very clear for me, when I'm reading the text, I can identify the black and the white parts within my text. Now I'm just going to add a very quick caption, and then I'm going to get back to you very shortly. What I need to do, if it's not clear enough or you cannot see it enough, you might use something such as a background if you wish to. Now background here is used, usually I use something like a gray background so I can see the text properly for it. And this is usually done by default within Premiere Pro. As you see here, I'm having the text being added to my timeline. Now remember, she speaks regards the dogs, and we need to add as many subtitles as we can. So all we need to do is go into my razor and just cut the part where she stops by, and she stops by this point here. And then simply I'm just selecting the rest of the text. I'm having here two texts in this case. I'm having the first one, second one. Or I can do something very useful by copy this, Control C, and just adding my pen over here, Control V. So I'm having two texts in this case. I can hit Control V multi times. And in this case, I'm covering my whole view. Now I can change the subtitle as much as I want. So I'm not going to change the subtitle at the moment. I'll let you do this in your free time. But in this case, we know the difference between the subtitles. I might just hit plus here and give it a little bit space between the different subtitles. Here we go. So in here, I can tell the subtitle just change while she speaks. So in here, I'm having, let's say in this video here is covering 4 captions or 4 subtitles. Don't worry about the resolution at the moment. Once we save it, everything will look completely different. Now I'm going to go back again to my window, workspace, editing, covering the next point. Now I'm done with the caption. Now add the musical backgrounds that cover your entire timeline. All I need to do is just backspace. Then I'm having here the music, and then I'll pick whatever design music I would like. I'll add them in the last row of the timeline. Now make sure this is covering your whole video, because sometimes you add it and it just is not added properly from the beginning of your video. So I'm having here the music starting. Great, everything sounds great to me. I'm going here, as you see here, the music does not stop by the end of the video. Now if you're going to the length of the music, this is about 3 minutes, so that's fine. Now apply the musical backgrounds, fade out the ends of the musical backgrounds. Now, in case if your musical background does not have a fade out, all you need to do is again, using your timeline, and just use the keyframe by using Control on your keyboard or Command for Mac. Just select 2 points, just fade it down. So as you see now here, and you see in your sounds bar as well, you will find here the sounds getting lower and lower and lower until they fade out. Adding thanking text. Now we can do the same what we did in the caption. I could actually copy one of those texts right at the beginning, which is one of those texts over here. Control C on my keyboard. Now go into it by the end of the video over here just to save time, and Control V. And as you see here, it's added right in the top here. Great. Let me just drop this a little bit to the left side. Now in here, it says just write thank you for watching. So I'm just copying this, going to my text, double click on it, and just Control V. Thank you for watching. Changing the text, or the thanking text in this case. As it says here, the font settings, which we have the font face. Again, we have the fill color, which is the inner color, stroke color, which is again the outer color. So I'm just going to change the font face. Here we go. So I'm going to the window, workspace, and then graphics. I'm going to change this as it asks me to do so. I'm having here the fill color, as it says here, fill color is red. So I'm going to go here using the red fill color. Stroke or outside color is white. So just going to click on this. Make sure you're taking the background off if there is. So just taking the out color will be white. If I ask you for a specific stroke size, in this case, it will change it from the stroke width. Here we go. So in this case, I'll highlight the whole text, change the stroke a little bit to be a bit wider. Great. Don't have any settings here or any size of the text, so that will do. That's fine. And then I'll add my name by the end of the video. Great. So in this case, I'm going to copy and paste it to get my name at the end of the video. Now, before we end up and exporting the video, we need to make sure that, again, the logo is covering the whole part or the whole timeline or the whole footage. To do this, I'm just going to use minus, and then I'm going to drag the logo all around my timeline just before my name. So in this case, I'm having here the logos covering the whole timeline of my video. Now, export your video. Before I export my video, go into the end of the video, and you see here, I'm having a length of 4.5 minutes. I need to get this to be 3.5 minutes. Now, I'm just going to add 00 here. This is for the milliseconds. 00 for the seconds. And then I can add here 3. So I'm having here 3 minutes exactly. Once I hit enter, you will find where exactly my video should stop with or stop by. So all I have to do is using again the ripple edit, going between 2 videos and get the length to be a little bit less. And using my footage, I'm not using my interviewee's videos itself. I'm using just the videos of my B-roll or of the dogs themselves playing around. Okay, great. So as you see here, I'm still having enough space. So all I can do, I actually could go plus over here using my keyboard and then shorting a little bit of those, again, material. Try to short this a little bit. If it's not shorting, it's fine. I could short the one right in the bottom, but this is an interviewee. Okay, so I could short this a little bit down. Again, I'm having here 3 footages that need to be shorting down. So I'm still having here my footage. Great. I'll short it down even more. Use the ripple edit. Now, let me do this again one more time. 00 for milliseconds, 00 for seconds, and 03 for the minutes. So that's now more than 3 minutes actually. Now, what I need to do is, and instead of going backward again and working on my materials, all I can do is getting one of those to be a little bit enlarged. So I'm just using this footage that I worked with. I'm going to enlarge it a little bit using the ripple edit. Okay, we're just getting the size a little bit less. So matching my video. Great. That matches my video exactly. Now, regard the sound again, the sound's supposed to be less. So all I can do is just drag the sound down and make sure you're still using the keyframe on your sounds. Same to those footages, because again, those footages here do not have a keyframe. So all you need to do is getting the keyframe for those footages. So now my video is ready. All the video done as supposed to be. Now we go into the last step where it says here, export your final video using video quality of 720 using H.264. We can do this in 2 ways. The first one using Control M or Commands M on your keyboard, or you can use a file and then you're gonna find export media. Great. Now, so once we've done with this, we have the preset, which is the quality of the video itself. And I'm going to give this a 720. And the format, I'm going to pick H.264. Once I'm done, all I need to do is exporting my media. And then Premiere Pro will start exporting the full media. Now, before you leave, or handing your exam, or handing your paper, or handing your video, make sure, please, you follow the steps of the slip of the exam itself, where it says how to save your name and where you should save it, and make sure of reviewing the full video from beginning to end to make sure the sounds are correctly placed. Thank you very much, and I'll see you around. Goodbye.